What's up guys, Seabar2110 here, and I'm bringing you a video from the motorbike game Ride. Now, say video, it's more going to be my problem with Ride. Now, Ride was described when it came out as the Forza of bikes, and that is a very, very, very big claim to be the Forza of bikes, because the biking world has needed a game like Forza for it in a long time. This game is amazing to play. The bikes handle, it's made by Milestone, which are the guys that do the MotoGP game. The bikes handle like you would expect. It's really realistic. It is the Forza for bikes, so they live up to the claim. However, as you can see in the background, my issue with it is loading times. Now, I thought Dead Rising 3 was the worst game for loading times ever. Then I played Ride, and I'm a motorcycle fan myself, I'm a motorbike fan, and just bear in mind, this whole time I've been talking, we're in the loading screen for the main menu. Here we go, right. Let's see, World Tour. Oh, we're back in the loading screen. Not very long, but we're back in the loading screen. So let's have a look at my bikes, for instance. I have a fair few of those. And we go to the dealership. There is, I'm not quite sure how many bikes there is, but there's all the manufacturers. And you can see there is a very wide selection of bikes. And about 10 each, apart from that one where there is one, which is electric bike, I think? Yeah. So, there's quite a nice large selection of bikes. The rider gear is phenomenal as well. Rider gear, probably take me into, oh no. So we've got the rider gear here, so customise each individual loadout. We can have 5 ones, so we can have, like say we had a street bike, we can have a street-esque setup, or racing setup exactly. So I've got the Union Jack on there, being patriotic. However, one of the features for me personally being a MotoGP fan that I like about this game is there, for instance, I believe that is Nicky Hayden's helmet, and if we scroll through, now MotoGP fans will need no introduction to who number 46 is. They have every helmet of Valentino Rossi's in the game, all the way down to the chicken with the little egg with a number 9 on it that he wore when he won his, when he won his ninth championship. So you've got all the Rossi helmets and stuff like that. I think you even have Rossi leathers as well. I'm not sure if it's just leathers or if it's the jacket that you can get. I know you get the jacket, I'm not too sure about leathers. But anyway, right, so we've got Ride, you've got the character customization, which is really, really in-depth. Say you have a replica Rossi helmet, you can wear a replica helmet. The bikes are really good, you can customise the bikes, you can change the exhaust, you can do everything you want to with the bikes. The bike customization is brilliant. But if I just want to race, that's when the issues come about. I'm back in another, there we go, right, so. World Tour events, let's just start an event. I've probably got one in completion. Biking use eligible. Endurance, Grand Prix, road race. Let's do a road race. I've completed 2 of them. Let's do this one, Sierra Nevada. Now, some of the tracks are actually legitimate race tracks, whereas some of the road races they've done themselves, which is quite good. The tracks they've done themselves are really, really good tracks. But I would have liked tracks like, say, the TT, for instance, the Ironman TT. So here we go, this is where the loading screens, you don't really notice them because you've got there the bike that I've chosen for this, which is the BMW HP4 racing version. It's got 4 pages of facts about the bike that I can look through. But the one thing I never understood with Ride is I can read all of these in the loading screen to pass the time because the loading screens are long, which is the problem I have with Ride in the first place. Reading about them is nice for the first couple of times you have the bike. If you're doing a long-term thing where you're using the same bike, you already know all that stuff. So I would prefer this if it was on a skip option. You'll notice the game is still loading. So I would like this to have a skip option, but the one thing I've never understood about Ride is, I've read through that, I get to preview my bike. You're thinking, yeah, preview your bike before the race. Press continue, and it's back to telling me about the bike with a loading screen again. And it's like, why show me the bike that I know I've picked? I can see it there in the picture already. Just put me in the race, which it has done now, and it shows you a bit of track which you can skip. So the main problem with Ride I have is the loading screens, because that loading screen wasn't just because I haven't put this game in for a while. That loading screen is there every time you start a race up, and it does get annoying, I'll be honest. The loading times are absolutely horrific. If they sorted the loading times out, it would be so much of a better game, because the graphics, as you can see from the gameplay now, the graphics are incredible. The bikes handle realistic as well. Difficulty settings, you set it to hard, you are really gonna struggle. Oh god, round the corner. But yeah, like I said, it's made by Milestone Games, who do the MotoGP games, and those are some of my favourite motorbike games that have ever, well, since Road Rash. The newer ones especially have been my favourite motorbike games there was, because there never was a game like Ride, there was just MotoGP. There was never a motorcycle game, like a game specific for bikes. Whereas now they've come out with Ride, and the loading time, if it just had an update to fix the loading times. I mean, this is on the next gen, this is on Xbox One and PS4, there's no... If you can port a game across, let's think of a game for example, Forza 6 for instance, the amount of cars that has in, and the graphics on that, don't get me wrong, the graphics in game are fantastic, but the loading times on well, that's me off. The loading times on Forza are non-existent, pretty much. I mean, yes, there is a little bit of loading time, but they're basically non-existent. But this, loading times are unfortunately what you spend the majority of your game doing. But like I said, it is a really, really nice game. I'll rewind that. One of the best features of a motorbike game. But yeah, I was just, when I picked this up on launch day, I think it was last year it came out. I picked this up on launch day, and I played it with my dad, who actually owns a bike. He is a biker. He's a massive motorbike fan, and we both said the same thing, because it's one of the few Xbox One games you can do split screen on. Because split screen gaming is becoming a thing of the past, unfortunately. But we both said the same thing after we did one race. We both said the loading times. It is the Forza of motorcycle games. But the loading times, even if it just put an update in to sort the loading times out, I would be happy. But this isn't me saying don't buy Ride because the loading times are shoddy. If you're a motorcycle or a motorbike fan, buy Ride, definitely buy it, it's worth the money. Just be warned though, I wish I'd been warned before I purchased it, that the loading times are not fantastic, shall we say. 2 or 3. Yeah, the loading times are what let this game down. Otherwise, as you can see from the graphics and the gameplay I'm showing in the background, it is a fantastic game. Looking game, the bikes, like I said, handle realistically. You can customise your rider in depth. Say for instance, if your bike is on this game, let's say for instance you have a Ducati Monster and you have stuck a custom exhaust on it, for example. Let's just say custom exhaust you put on it. If you go into the Ducati store and you buy the bike that you have, you can change the exhaust to the custom exhaust that exists for the bike, so you can actually make it your own. God, that corner always gets me. You can make it your own bike, which is really good. I mean, GTA, yeah, you can say GTA has customization, it makes stuff your own, but the bikes don't have proper names, and yes, you can tell, I'm just using GTA as an example, you can tell what bike is what, blatantly, and what car is what, but not everyone has the ability to go racing with their bike, like track days, etc, etc. This gives you that sort of immersion, effectively. But it's just nice to be able to customise a bike that you have with the actual parts that you have on it, like a custom exhaust, or you ride around in your own leathers, or like leathers similar to your own. I just can't stress enough how much of a disappointment it was the first time I played this. To be immersed fully in this game and have the graphics as good as they are, and a fantastic bike game the biking world needs in games, then to be met with loading times that are, in my opinion, for the next generation of console, are horrendous. Some games that are coming out that look as good as they do and play as good as they do and smooth as do don't have this many loading times. I mean, Fallout 4, for instance, Fallout 4 is an open world game. It's a gorgeous open world game. You can do so much stuff. There's over 300 hours of content, and the loading times in that aren't nearly half as bad as this. Now, I don't know what happened there. I hit the curb. Now, I don't know if that's just because Milestone's Games isn't as big a company and they wanted to put all their money in the graphics and the loading times, and fair enough, you know, to make a beautiful game, which they have done. But when you're playing other games on the next gen console, you don't want to be waiting around, you know, like someone out there, you don't want to be waiting around all the time just to, you know, just to play one race. I mean, now for instance, here we go, I'm about to cross the start finish line, didn't finish very well, 13th out of 16th, he's disappointed with himself. Oh, I don't know what the what the hell happened there. Position 5th, apparently. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, you've got this game, yeah, fair enough, you've got the race, you've done a beautiful race, and then you've got the loading times again. And it's just, I can't stress enough how disappointing it is to play this game and have the loading times as bad as they are. It was disappointing. First time I played it, it was really disappointing. But yeah, now I've got that off my chest. It's still loading. Now with that off my chest, let me know what you think of Ride in the comment section below if you have purchased Ride, or if you've been annoyed with the loading times. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe, like I said. If you have played Ride and you are disappointed, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, please comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.